Murali End. Welcome to the show. We're here when you're high. We're here when you're low. Some days you're happy, some days you wanna when happy it's we, when mad it's them. It's the same place, Murali End. Sri Lanka cricket we gon' represent. So tell a friend.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. 5 minutes ago, I didn't think this show that we're going to do was absolutely possible. This is the Murali End. My name's Mark Machado. I'm joined by my cousin Dominic across the pond in the US. He's in the US. I'm in the UK. Sri Lanka have just beaten Bangladesh in one of the most nail-biting finishes you could possibly ever imagine. Charmari bowls the last over. Bangladesh need 8 runs from that over.
Nine runs, right? 9, yeah.
9 runs, sorry. And somehow she manages to get 4 wickets from the first 4 balls. It's not a hat trick because one of them was a run out, but an absolutely unbelievable
Team double hat trick.
Team double hat trick. Dom, how are you feeling? What's your take on it? Estelle's in the stadium. We've started as soon as the match finished there. How are you feeling about what we've just witnessed? I can't believe it.
I was feeling bummed the entire day, to be honest. You know, they got off to a good start. They were batting well. They were looking set for a score of 250, something that might look par or par about. And then they, pick up, then they collapse. They pick up early wickets. I think, okay, it's back on. And then that partnership kind of sucks all the life out of me. And then it goes to the last over and we get that Sri Lankan magic that you always talk about, Mark. Anything that can and will happen does happen. And Charmari, the captain, she's had an okay performance this tournament with the bat, but no game-changing innings. Guess what? She delivers the game-changing over, keeping Sri Lanka's slim qualifying chances for the semifinals alive. More to play for, still more to play for. They've faced a ton of adversity this World Cup, both in the way they've played, their own fielding, the weather, all those things. But to pull it together that last over and turn the match, well done.
Absolutely unbelievable, right? If you're just finding us, hit that subscribe button, leave us your comments, leave us your thoughts. We jumped on as soon. Normally we take about 5 or 10 minutes. We started as soon as the match finished because we were kind of watching it together almost in the stream, and I was tempted to go hit that live button, but I didn't want to jinx it. I believe in magic, right? Particularly believe in magic when it comes to Sri Lankan cricket teams. We needed a magic over. It kind of started off really like we need to talk about the batting. We'll get into that and everything. We needed a magic over. The bowling started off quite well at the beginning of the innings. Then we kind of lost our way a little bit, kind of 25 overs in. And Charmari, well, she got angry, right? And
understandably so.
Yeah, totally understandably so. We definitely shouldn't have been in that position for a number of different reasons. This game two things should have happened. A, we should have been well out of sight with the bat. Secondly, Bangladesh should have been well out of sight. They should never have got to that last over.
Yep.
I don't know what happened over there. I'd love to speak to Estelle or anyone else who's in the ground to talk about the conditions. We've heard that there's dew coming. We've heard all sorts. We heard about this magic red clay that they've got there. But the magic was all waiting for that last over, wasn't it today, Dom?
Yeah, it really was. I think, it shows you what kind of a game cricket is, that this is cricket at its best, right? There are so many twisted turns. You think, okay, halfway through the first inning, Sri Lanka has it. They're going to put up an imposing total. Okay, Bangladesh start. Then there's the collapse. Okay, now Bangladesh start to collapse. Then they stitch it together with a partnership. And then, sort of as we're coming in, we're texting each other being like, okay, can they still do this? What do we think about 6 and over for the last 10 overs? Can they keep it tight? I can say it now, but I wrote at one point, I think it was 21 from 18. I was like, super over, question mark. And guess what? We did get a super over. Problem was for Bangladesh, it wasn't that super over you get when the match is tied. The super over from Charmari. That was what I was summoning, Mark. I don't think you understood that when I sent it through, but it was summoning 4 consecutive wickets to turn the match.
God, I've been thinking about it a lot, right? Let's be brutally honest about it. This tournament has been an absolute disaster for us, right?
Absolute disaster.
Whenever it's looked good, the rain has come. When the rain hasn't appeared, we've just been sloppy in the field. All the mistakes that we've made thus far, we made today. However, the reason we all love Sri Lankan cricket, right, is because it's where the miracle, when the magic happens. Sri Lankan cricket is where the miracles live, right? Day the miracles wanted a day out. We saw it a few weeks ago. Dilshan Madishankar summoned one up in Zimbabwe. Today we saw it in Navi Mumbai.
You've seen it all, right? Like it
what
was
a game.
And also, I have to say, the bowling from Chomri, that Yorker first up was just absolutely brilliant. Think about that. You're the captain. You're backing yourself to just deliver a perfect over. And guess what? That's what she does. And Russell Arnold was giving us the stats that she averages 11 runs per over. They needed 9. Guess what? She didn't care. Still did it.
Yeah, I was surprised to see her bowl it, right? Totally backed herself. That's what the big game players do.
Hey, yeah,
right?
exactly.
They want to be in those
That's
moments.
what you want from them. It doesn't matter what's happened the rest of it. They just want to have the ball in their hands.
Right. Anyway, should we talk about the beginning of the game? Should we go all the way back to earlier today and talk about the batting, talk about our batting? Because actually, you look at it, it's the worst possible start. Vishmi gets that first ball. I thought it was a bit of a silly wicket to effectively give away. It kind of set the tone for what would happen a little bit later on. Chamri, I thought actually looked much better today than she has earlier in the tournament. And then we need to talk about Hasni Pereira's innings because she was superb today, right?
She was superb, yeah. Sanuda's saying we said bad things about Hasni. I've been saying good things since she's gotten that promotion. She's been scoring lots of 40s. I want to say one thing that's kind of crazy is that she hadn't scored an international 50 prior to this in 143 matches. This was her first. She batted really, really well. And one thing that's good about Hasni is she's 30 years old. We've got another 10 years of Hasni Pereira to play in our side here. So she was excellent. Chamari looked good. I think, the thing that you really point to this tournament, yes, we got to win, is that we've put our batters have put themselves in positions where they can go on and make match-defining contributions. Yet, as they get themselves in that position, they've gotten out. We've had a lot of 30s, a lot of 40s, and only 250-plus scores. And that, to me, has been the difference. Like, you look, the sort of, I know we want to celebrate this victory, but my mind, and I was thinking about this throughout the match today, you can't help but go back to that India match and seeing what's happened since then and thinking we were really close to winning that. Better fielding, just hanging on and fighting out, sort of with the bat a little bit more. And this tournament could look very, very different.
The two players who are having quite a frustrating tournament for me are Harshita and Kavisha.
Yeah.
Kavisha's wicket today, what the hell? How does that even happen?
Yeah.
By the finest of margins, right?
Stumped in the weirdest way possible.
Yeah.
I was going over with my 8-year-old the different dismissals the other day, and we're talking about getting stumped. This is not the stumping that I was, you draw it up. That's not the way it's supposed to work. Vishmi's also had a tough tournament. I think, you kind of expected this facing Akhtar in the first over. You kind of felt like something bad was going to happen. And Harshita's gotten some starts, but just hasn't been able to kick on. Like, she's gotten to that 35-30 range, but never quite been able to put it into that next gear and take those 200s and make them 250s.
Harshita's run out today was totally unnecessary.
Yep.
Like, it's that classic, what I love is that with Sri Lankan cricket, we have pure gender equality when it comes to run outs.
Oh, and collapses.
Yeah.
Okay?
Boys or girls, men's or women's, we're going to give you a run out. Like, that's what we do, right? And we're going to bring you the collapse every now and again.
Yeah.
We need to discuss Nilakshika's again was great. Today, I thought I don't know how you felt about it.
I thought she was good until the shot she played, right? Like, I think that was the problem, is like, that was the point where the match was sort of spinning in our direction, where we're saying, okay, we've gained control of it. We have it by the hands. And you just, that way of getting out, like if you get out to a good ball or playing your shot, but the shot she got out to was just silly. It's the type of shot that she would know as soon as she hit it, oh, why did I do that? Right. But I will say, she dropped a catch too, but she did not let that stop her in that last over. She got that crucial run out.
Yeah. So I think our fielding is very sloppy, right? At points.
Yes. And brilliant at the same time.
And brilliant at the same time. Savina's right. I need to give credit to Malky and Probodny, because they're batting until 48 overs and get the last 20 runs. That was the difference. Absolutely. Also, they started the bowling really well as well. I thought
they got us off to that brilliant start. They were so tight, and
Yeah. I would have liked to seen them bowl a little bit longer before they taken them off. They might have been tired as well, because they were kind of batting quite deep as well.
Yeah.
At the end of our innings. I'll just go back to Tillan's comment as well. That was brilliant. I generally thought we were gonna lose. I think we all kind of felt that, right? Like, I'm trying to think of other things that we need to mention from.
No, I'm rewatching Harshita's run out. It was just like that was just, come on, like there is not ever two there. I don't care who Usain Bolt couldn't have gotten two from that.
I was surprised. Sorry, just going back to Malky and Probodny's batting. I was surprised how many balls those two were able to face. And that, I do feel that is something that definitely wouldn't have happened. Kind of if you went back 18 months
2 years ago, right?
Yeah. And players lower down our order would be able to face that many balls.
I think the funny thing too is because it kind of makes you think about Hassani, right? Because again, brilliant, right? Like, I'm not going to harp on this too much, but she gets 50, she gets to 80. She could have stuck around and made 100 there and put up another 15, 20 runs, right? So again, the shot she gets out on is a reverse sweep that she hadn't played all match, right? So I think it's that mentality. And it also brought up something that you put in our group chat, Mark, about game readiness. Like, I do think some of these things don't have to do with game readiness, but match awareness. How do you handle these things? How do you handle these situations? How do you play in these situations? That's something that does matter in terms of game time, right? Like, you're 174 for 4 in the 31st over. Just ride out the next 10 overs. You don't need to go hard. And then you're not going to lose from there.
When Kavisha gets out in the 19th over, 100 for 4, and then it's kind of 174 for 5.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, right, it's actually like, this will go down as a great win, but that final few overs kind of gloss over the fact that actually our batting was kind of sets the platform, and then no one's able to do anything off it. Even if we got an extra 20 runs, it's a totally different game.
Yep.
It doesn't need to come into that. They've got to take more risks. We'll get more wickets.
Yep.
I'd love to know what they're saying in the Bangladesh changing room right now. Like how because I don't know how they've let that slip, right?
Yeah.
That was, oh boy. I mean, I wasn't prepared for the win, to the point where I was thinking about all the bad things that I didn't
exactly
about it all, right?
This is it's stealing victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah. If anyone wants to come on and have a chat with us, please do. I'll put the comments.
We should talk about this too. Bangladesh's fielding was bad. We got lucky.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the standard of fielding in this tournament in general, to be honest. Sometimes some of the teams are quite poor at it. Which also, I think it's it's frustrating, right? Because now you're like, oh, we've got 4 points from 6 games. If we'd put in any sort of performance against England or India, or like that
or
could have
just a
beaten
little
India.
bit more against India, right? Like that's the one
Yeah,
to me that's like killing me, you know?
it's a tough tournament. But do you know what, Dom? I don't know if we're going to finish top 4. We need various results to go our way and keep doing what we're doing and kind of get the win in our final game against Pakistan in Colombo. Knowing the luck we've kind of had recently, that game will be rained off. The thing that we can take away from this is that we got this moment of magic today. This is the moment of magic that we wanted to take from it, right? This is a memory.
Honestly, like going winless in this tournament, and then that would be in back-to-back tournaments. We should point out that they had lost, I think, 7 or 8 on the trot at this point, maybe even 9 in ICC tournaments. So getting this win was huge confidence builder, huge confidence booster. And they were just hungry for it today, and they didn't want to let it slip, and they fought. Again, shout out to Malky and Prabodny for just being tight and disciplined bowlers, and even the spinners, right? As that partnership was going, they still kept to their lines and lengths. They weren't searching for the glory ball. Good for them.
There's some comments. Hilda's written, who are the biggest chokers, India, women, or Bangladesh? Honestly, answer. Savina's possibly got the right answer. Sri Lanka's men's team is the biggest chokers. I say possibly. I'm not going to commit to any of that. I don't like, if you're talking about choking, you've got to have a safe word involved. And that's
Mark,
that's a whole different show. This is a family show, exactly. And I don't know anything about that stuff. Oh, what a win! What a feeling that must be for the team, right? It's how do you? What do we think is going through Charmari's mind getting into that final over, Dom? Because I mean, we've seen her do some heroics for Sri Lanka, but today was that final over was another level, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's the ultimate competitor, right? Like, think about how many matches she's played for the side and how many matches they were totally outclassed, where she was the only player who was of a certain standard on the Sri Lankan side, where the team seemed out of it and she brought them back to a victory. She's a total fighter. She has played an entire career, right, where she's had the weight of the country on her shoulders. And guess what? She said, give me that pressure again. I'm going to do it for you guys. And I think it's in some ways encapsulates who she is and what she's meant to this team. Like her willpower, her professionalism, her strength, her belief in the side is what has elevated Sri Lankan cricket. I think, Mark, you saw this. There was a question going around Twitter, who are the Mount Rushmore of Sri Lanka cricket? And I think you and I both put Chamari on that list because she is the one who has put women's cricket on the map. She has carried such a large burden. I think with maybe the exception of Murali being the only other player who's carried so significant of a burden. So to see her do that in this tournament that may well be her last ODI World Cup, we won't say World Cup in general, was amazing. And for her to have that memory of the team coming together and rallying around her, catching the ball, running out, getting a run out, getting bowled, all that stuff. That was brilliant gut check stuff that showed what they were made of.
So I think doing the maths, there is a very slim possibility Sri Lanka can make it through the next round. It involves India and New Zealand getting a draw, right? I think.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the table here. Okay, so India has 2 games left. We have 1 game left. New Zealand does. Okay, so India. Okay, so New Zealand has India and England. India has New Zealand and Bangladesh. Okay, yeah. So a draw puts India. Okay, yes. Okay, so basically the best case scenario or the most likely scenario for us to get in would be a draw, a rained out draw between New Zealand and India, and then for both of those teams to lose their final match.
Yeah. And India have to play Bangladesh in their final match, and New Zealand have to play England. I mean, you can see England beat New Zealand. It's going to take a lot for Bangladesh to beat India, because there was points today where, like, Bangladesh was so in control of that game.
Yeah.
You just don't know what kind of psychological impact it's going to have going forward for them in terms of trying to get results moving forward. Also, India, like, let's be brutally honest, are just a much more coherent unit than we are at this point, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I wonder though, you know, me and Estelle were already planning. We're in the planning stages of how Murali End's going to cover the next Women's World Cup, which is in June in the UK. It's a T20 tournament. It kind of feels like not that far away.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much Sri Lanka take from this victory going into that tournament. Exactly, you know, all the way through, I felt we're really good for 20 overs. We're really good. Like, we're a really good T20 unit. It's the extra 30 overs each innings that we have to play. That kind of
and you do see some things too, where like someone like Nilakshi, her power hitting has improved so much. So you can see her playing a really big role in that side. Like, I'd like to see her bat at number 4, right, rather than bat her down the order, as someone who can come in the middle overs and just kind of smash it around. Obviously, Hassani has a role there too. I think they've got to think carefully about how they set up that side. But between Hassani, Chamri, and Nilakshi, you've got 3 batters who can really kind of put their foot down and score boundaries. And then you have Kavisha and Harshita and Anushka Sanjeevani who can do things as well. So I think it'll be interesting to see what strategies they approach. There's questions whether you want to bring in someone like a Manudi Nanayakara who can score runs quickly as well. All good problems to have, all good problems where you have options. But I think, again, it shines a little bit brighter. I think Chamri will play. I think this tournament shows that, yes, there's still a ways to go, but the gap between Sri Lanka and the other best sides in the world is not like here. It's more like here. It's something that you can bridge. It's a game, you know, those games against England and India, you can imagine them winning those matches. That is not a pipe dream.
Dom, I'm going to wrap this up, so I'm going to go.
Right. Yeah, you have to go. That's right.
We have to go. I think the takeaway from this is, firstly, we'll be back after the Bangladesh game.
Of course.
But the big takeaway is for this is that, firstly, Sri Lanka are great, and it's great fun supporting Sri Lanka. So continue to do that. Secondly, Chamri is the GOAT of all GOATs.
Everything.
For everything. Thirdly, not all hope is lost, right? There is a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of hope. A tiny sliver of hope. It involves rain helping us. But it's been raining a lot recently, so you never know. Like, probably Sri Lanka are done after the Pakistan game. But if you believe in Sri Lanka cricket, you'll believe anything is possible. So do not lose hope. We've been the Murali End. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are just catching up, finding us now, firstly, hit the subscribe. Secondly, go back and watch from the beginning. We'll see you all later. Thanks a lot. Bye.
It's the Murali End, you're in the place to be. Analyze the players and the team. Keep a great company in the stream. It's the Murali End. Welcome to the show. We're here when you're high. We're here when you're low. Some days you're happy, some days you wanna when happy it's we, when mad it's them. It's the same place, Murali End. Sri Lanka cricket we go represent. Go tell a friend.